ask the question.
So is it possible to become a business analyst without prior IT experience?
Yeah.
If yes, how much time it will take to get into it?
Okay. So this is very generic question. It is possible, 100% is possible. Even if you ask, let's say across the globe, I train the candidate and there are multiple examples. If you want to talk to the people, they are already done the transition from non-IT to IT. It is possible. Now, a little bit, we can say the background and if let's say the experience, which is, the required, but for an example, let's say if you are starting with the fresher or a junior business analyst, then anyone can start with that. But if you are targeting, let's say the senior business analyst and that type of the position, then little bit, the background or the experience is required. Now that experience not necessarily have to be a business analyst experience. That experience can be any other experience, given that you are able to justify that experience, given you have the kind of, knowledge about the process or the tools and kind of, the methodologies required for a BA. So it is 100% possible and people, they are doing it. It is more on a kind of, the process. If you understand the process, for example, related to the training, related to the interview, the resume, how to, the explain the roles and responsibilities you had, how to, the connect all those things with the BA, then, it is a kind of, a doable task, nothing major. Okay.
Thank you. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. Same, Katif, Fana, please. Yeah, you can ask the question.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
So my question is, can you go with your background once, because this is the first time I am attending your meeting.
Yeah.
And my second question is, sir, how business analyst role is different in India and America, because I am in USA right now. So my background is from IT, but previously I was from non-technical background. So I just wanted to know that how I can transition into it.
Yeah. So coming to the second question first, whatever the business analyst, the roles or the responsibilities, it is, the same across the globe. It's not like that, there is, the difference between, let's say, the roles in the India or the US or Australia or Canada. It's not like that, because it's the standard process which organization follow. So for an example, if they are, the using, let's say, the Scrum or Agile, it's the standard kind of, the methodology. Doesn't matter the organization, project, or the country. Okay. So it is the same thing. Now, doing the career, please mute yourself. You are not speaking. Okay. So it is the same kind of, the process or the methodology they use, whether, let's say, you are creating the UML design, whether you are writing the BRD document. So there is no difference between, the country specific and all those, because these are the standard tools and techniques people use. Okay. Doing the career transition, again, the same things. You have to, follow the process, and then follow the process means, let's say, you have to know like what are the different topic which is required in the free market. In the Google, you find, a lot of, the free resources is there. You find, a lot of, the trainings and all those is there. But if you don't know what is important, what is required, what is not required, then unnecessarily you are, let's say, wasting the time. Unnecessarily you kind of, utilizing your effort, which is not required. So if you follow, let's say, proper plan structure, if somebody can guide you, not necessarily me, it can be your colleague, it can be, let's say, somebody who is already working into that field, they can help. Okay. So these are the things they are expecting you to be as a BA. And if you focus on certain things, then it will like, any other, the position. So that's how, you can do. Now, coming to my background, I completed computer science engineering, okay, from India, SRM University. And then I started my career as a software engineer with Thermo Fisher Scientific. It is a US biotechnology product company in Bangalore. And then I worked there as a software engineer. I moved to product management there. And then I completed MBA Finance and Marketing from Symbiosis Pune. And after that, I started working with ICICI Bank into their corporate division. Then I moved to Societe Generale. It is a French bank. And I was working as a senior BA and project management role. And we were working related to the cybersecurity, the application. So managing, the two different teams working into two different applications like that. Recently, I moved to Perth, Australia here. And here, at the same time, I'm kind of, doing the studies, and I'm working with the consultancies to provide the training, provide the consulting services for the business analyst, project management, and the Scrum, and the freelance activities along with that. And apart from that, I help the candidate with the, let's say, the career transition, with the interview, with the training part, and individual one-to-one, the mentorship. And let's say they need the guidance from, the switching the career, or they need the guidance with the training, resume, and let's say, for example, LinkedIn and all those kind of things. And one consultancy is there into the US. With there, I'm training their employee, and two of them are in Australia. So I'm, the working with them. And that is, the pretty much, the background about me. Okay. Yes, next question, please.
Thank you, sir.
Mahek Quatra. Yes, please. Yeah. Okay, Saurabh.
Yes, hi Sandeep. Hi all.
Hi.
Well, I have more than 10 years of experience into human resource.
Yeah.
So can I transition into a business analyst? But let's say if I learn from you
Yeah.
and I start applying job as a
Yeah.
BA. So
Yeah.
should I apply as a fresher entry level job as a BA, or should I apply for an experienced BA? I mean, can you give me
Okay.
a suggestion? Or
Yeah. So I have two questions for you. The first question here, what is your education background?
I have BSc in mathematics.
BSc Mathematics. Okay. And 10 years of experience. The second question I have, why you want to change from HR to, because you already spent the 10 year now, why not the HR? HR is a good field.
I don't think because I feel that to be continuing BA because it has appreciated me because the few members and in my family and colleague even friend they're working, so I appreciate it. I mean, like they have just told me entire process
Yep.
that how it works
Yep.
and how to interact with the stakeholder or management or the client.
Yeah.
So I thought like it could be a good opportunity for me
Yeah.
rather than being a HR.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what
That's fine. And now you don't have to start as a fresher because it will not be the suitable for you. So for an example, let's say in the business analyst, what you have to do, you should target the senior BA type of the position. And then what good part in your profile, you have, let's say 10 years of experience, extensive experience into HR or L&D and, the recruitment, hiring. These are the interrelated fields, right? So now if I just, mention only one. So for an example, let's say the Workday is there. Workday is one of the, the human resource, the management, the platform which is provided by this organization. So if any other organization, they are building these type of the capabilities, and then you have the 10 years of experience into that. And on top of that, if you have the skill set which is required for the BA, then these organizations, they can hire you as a BA, because you know like how the entire hiring process work. Like how the appraisal cycle, or let's say the recruitment, the onboarding or the training and those plan work. Now what they are looking to build a software application, and somebody has to tell them. So for a candidate who is just, he or she is just out, the fresh out of the college, they might not understand how the hiring cycle work in a startup versus a MNC or like that. So there it is creating the differentiating factor in your profile. Now the thing which you have to do, how you can justify your experience from the BA point of view. That doesn't mean like you just copy paste some resume and then you just include that and you are going to answer the question. No, it is not going to work that way, because you have to relate the project which you have done from the BA point of view. You have to have the skill set or the knowledge which is required, or the task which you are doing in day to day from the BA point of view. And then you explain them, okay, boss, this is the skill set, this is the experience I have. Now I am eligible to apply for this position. Now, another thing, if you just apply for as a fresher, they will not be giving you the salary which you are already earning. It will be, the lower than that, and which is not a kind of, the good idea to take a cut at this, the experience level. So I would say you are eligible from, my point of view. There are candidate with, let's say 5 year, 6 year experience, and then they are, again, this is the kind of, the career transition they are doing, and they are getting the higher package. Given that you justify the experience which you have, given that you bring the skill set which they are expecting you on the table, and if you are, the matching those two things, then nobody can stop you. They will hire. Why not? Right?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
So possible, not a big deal. Just you should know the process. Again and again, I'm repeating to everyone. You know the process. You know where you have to focus. Because time is limited, you can't, they say, okay, another 6 months I'll prepare and then I'll do the transition. No, it's not good. That time never will come. Okay, enough. And then Saurabh, I think we already discussed, right? Yeah.
Yes, I have a last question. So, in this
Yes.
course, is it included a real project? How does it work, and how will be working?
ఇంకొద్ది రెజ్యూమ్ కావాలంటే
Yeah. So
బిఏ బ్యాచ్లర్
please mute yourself, guys. So just to answer the kind of, the highlight here. Yes, we'll be covering 4 to 5 different projects. Now, those projects are the real time. That means starting from the scratch to the end. What are the things as a BA we do in the organization? And then how you will be doing on day-to-day basis. So those are you can take them as an individual if you have to work as an individual. And then if you want to work in a group, then I can do the group assignment and you can work with, the different colleague. That is the way. Another thing, sometimes the people say, okay, I'm interested only into the finance domain, or I'm interested only into, let's say, the healthcare domain. So we can have, before starting the session, let's say next week we are starting. So I, the keep attending the one to call with everyone, have the one-to-one call, and then try to understand what particular, the domain they are interested. So if you say, okay, I'm interested into the healthcare, then I'll design the healthcare project for you, and we'll start working only into the healthcare. If you are saying, okay, I'm interested into the human resource, then let's have the project related to human resource management system, and then you start working on them. And throughout the training, you are, doing the training, you are working on your project, so you are getting the hands-on experience. Whatever you are learning, you are implementing those things over there, and then it can, enhance the learning experience for you. Okay, so 4 to 5
So that we can be able to answer the questions, real-time questions,
yeah, so
scenario-based questions.
yeah, so for example, let's say if you have done the project and they are asking you, okay, Saurabh, what are your, the day-to-day responsibilities? That's very generic question, and then they are asking basically, do you understand the entire project life cycle from BA point of view? And do you understand, like, what are the deliverables you are doing into the stage A, stage B, stage C, or like that? Do you understand, like, what are the tools, technology, and the process you are using? So you will be in a better position because you are already doing that project. I am giving the feedback on, the regular, the classes, and every time you are improving that part. And then we have the mock interview, and then you understand all those parts. I'll explain more in detail during the training presentation.
Okay. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. I see Mahek. Are you there? I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I was facing some issue earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry for that.
Yeah.
So
Please
I
have-
guess it is answered already. My question was like, as I have given my 4 years in a banking sector already. So after doing this course, when I'll give the interview,
Yeah.
will it gonna affect me in anything? Like I have 4 years of experience in another domain, and then I'm
No,
switching to
that doesn't matter
Mhm.
because let's say, and I have seen the candidate, for example, SDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, people were selling the credit card. If you want to talk to them, just talk. They are in India. And now they were able to do the transition. So for example, there was a one girl, she was just selling the credit card into SDFC Bank, 4 to 5 year experience. She got accident and big story about that. The idea is that she was able to do that. Wipro hired her. Even I have the offer letter if you want, I can show that. So for example, Wipro hired her. What they did, they employed her into one of the Abu Dhabi bank, okay, because she has the kind of, the banking or the financial, the domain expert, and related to the payment platform development, they hired her. So these type of the consulting organization, either you have the consulting or the product or the hybrid. Now it doesn't matter which organization you are going. So they can hire you on the project which they are doing related to, let's say, the banking, the financial services, the payment, and let's say, for example, KYC and these type of the project, because all the organization, they have such type of the project. So again, I'm repeating, like, why to sacrifice the experience which you already have on the paper? I never recommend candidate to create the fake experience and then go for it, because tomorrow it can, the bite you. But once you have the genuine experience, it is time to utilize that in your favor, because even the one single day, it's kind of the how hard it is. So why to waste that experience just to just because you are doing the career transition? So learn something which is required for the profile, and then couple with the experience which you already have, and then try to get into there, answering the interview and all those things. So for example, once you are doing the training, you are doing the project, you will be thorough, like these are the things which is expected from me. So once you are already doing, then you are already a stage ahead what the other candidate and other people they don't know. And then we have the mock interview. So let's say I can have mock interview, so 5-6 different the mock interview you have, and by the time you will be thorough to it. So you can say, okay, I'll ask, okay, can you explain this project life cycle, and then how you have resolved this issue, and then what was your contribution, why impact it has created on the stakeholder versus the project versus the customer, and like that. So then you understand the entire flow, like what are the type of the question I can expect, how can I structure my answer, what are the point I need to include, because it's like private tuition. Somebody is there to guide you, somebody is there, then they can rectify your mistakes which you are doing. So the less mistake or the fewer mistakes you do during the interviews, the chances are increasing to get selected for that. Okay, so it is completely possible, no issue with the experience. Again I'm repeating, there are multiple candidates are doing, so not big deal. Okay, who is the next person? Like Zoom user, I don't see your name, please unmute and ask.
Yeah, sorry about the things. I'm using my phone, so unable to mention my name.
Yeah.
Anyway, good evening, Orisho.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you that I recently completed my master's in an ERP course from Australian University, and I'm based in Perth itself.
Yeah.
Just wanted to start my career as a BA.
Yeah.
And if you can guide me on that things, what are the necessary steps or certification course I need to be complete before getting a job? Because as a university fresher graduate, I applied on many, companies, but at the end of the day, when they, get in touch with me, I just get to know that I'm fresher and they are unable to, proceed with the further things. So if you can guide me on that things, that'll be really helpful to me. Thank you.
So 3 things we are talking here. First thing regarding the certification. Second thing you are mentioning about, let's say you are applying and not getting that. And then being, the fresher, and then, how to do. So let's, talk about them. Now, certification, I think we were discussing into the message also, the WhatsApp. Certification is a complete separate story. The people who have the certification, they don't have the job. Okay. Or the people, at the other way, the people who have the job, they don't have the certification. So there is no guarantee, like once you get the certificates, it is a kind of, maybe the ECBA or CBAP, or even you get the PMP, you will get a job. There's no guarantee. And then other way, once you have the job, there's no kind of, the mandatory requirement, like you should have the certification. So there is a big kind of, the confusion. I get the certification and then I'll get a job. No. Or let's say whether, once I get the job, I need a certification. No, these things are wrong. Okay. Certification are required for you once you are already, let's say, doing the job. And now you want to show, okay, I am a kind of, the step ahead to the other candidate. Or the moment you already have certain experience, it will, certification are the standard. They are like gold mine. They definitely improve your profile. But because of that, you can't get the job. Because of that, you can't retain your job, right? So don't focus on that once you're doing the career transition, or once you are saying, okay, I'm a fresher, I'll get certificate, I'll get the job. No, it's not going to work that way, because certification is the theoretical approach. They will say, okay, these are the fundamentals, these are the process. So that is the standard knowledge, and which is, let's say, are properly structured by IIBA or PMP or Scrum, whatever certification you do, that is the well and good. But how you are going to apply those theoretical concepts? First, you have to mug up them and then clear the exam, or pay somebody to clear the exam. So many people are doing that. So don't do that at the moment. Once you are thorough into that, let's say you are already working 4 or 5 years as a BA now, and those are the prerequisite also. I'm not saying just for sake of it. If you see any certification, they'll say, and maybe entry level, they don't require, but that doesn't make sense. It is purely like wasting the money you are paying and then getting. So they required, okay, let's say you have 2-3 years of experience for enroll into CBAP, or from the PMP, like again, 3,600 hours, or like that, 3-4 years of experience you have. Why they are saying? Because you are already working into the field. You are claiming like, I'm an expert. I need to enhance my, the skill set at the global level. And that's why I'm taking a certification to recognize the expertise which I already have. So it can look good on my resume. It can, the differentiate from other candidate when I'm applying. So that is about the certification. Like if you are just doing the focus on to career transition to getting a job, certification is enhancing your profile 100%, but it is not a prerequisite. It is not a mandatory to have that. Okay. Another thing about the profile and the being fresher and all those. So two things, if you are getting the call, then there's no issue with the resume. But if you are not getting the call, then first issue is with the resume. You are applying the same resume, same cover letter. That's how it works in Australia. So then you have to change the cover letters. You have to change the resume. And that doesn't mean like you just copy paste, you Google, okay, be a resume and type it and it will work for you. Maybe work, but according to me, it doesn't work that way. The second thing, if you are fresher, you can't change that. That is the reality. You are fresher, that's okay. But what you have done during your graduation or the post-graduation, if you have, the completed, what other additional extracurricular or the project you have done? If you are not done, then it is time to start doing them. Because you can't simply say, okay, these are the 4 courses I completed and I'm just a fresher and I need a job. No, nobody will give. What other differentiating factor? Because along with you, hundreds of the other candidates, they are applying. And you ask any HR how much time they are putting. Nowadays with the AI and all those, even they are doing less. Okay. But they spend just only 2, 3, 4 seconds on every resume. Just have a quick glance and then they'll say, okay, whether we have to filter it or whether we don't have to filter it. Because I keep, the interacting with the HR and all those consultant. And then that's what they say. We don't spend more than 2 to 3 seconds on a resume. And even if it is AI, then with the scoring and all those, you'll just filter out whatever the resume is getting a score above, let's say 60, 70%, just filter out. Remaining with the don't care whether you have the experience, whether you have fresher or like that. So 2, 3 things. Don't focus on to the certification. That's not the only way which will help you to get a job. It will improve the profile, but no guarantee with that you will get a job. Learn the process, how you can, know like what is actually required for a BA. Certification can help you that process. Yes, it is a structured way. Another thing, try to improve the profile and the resume. So can you start, the getting shortlisted into the multiple call. Once you have the multiple call, there are chances like, you'll be selected in one of them.
Yeah. Thank you for your time and thanks for the valuable information. The only thing that I just wanted to recall from this information is you just told me about the projects or the assignments that I have worked on during my student life. There are some, of course, there are some projects or some assignments we used to get a work on, but those are like already set up projects and set up assignments. That does not mean any practical things to the actual corporate world. So
Yeah.
what are the other projects that you mean to say which I need to focus on and start working on them?
Yeah,
If
I
you
would
can
say
give me some
enroll into
information on that.
something. So for an example, once you are targeting the BA, so 2 things, either you justify the experience which you have from the BA point of view. So for an example, let's say you have done some internship related to the customer onboarding or sales or something like that, which is not directly related to this. Okay. Now
Yeah.
you relate that. For an example, you can say, okay, I've been, the engaging with 6 different stakeholders and it was a related to, let's say, our user onboarding platform. And these were, the 6 different, the feature related to that. And then we provided, let's say, onboarding to the customer and all those. Maybe you have done the sales experience, but you have to highlight from the BA point of view, because BA skill set, one of the skill which you are highlighting the stakeholder engagement and which is required for the BA. Another, you can say, okay, we prepared the user guide and the manual. So that is, the another thing, the user guide or the manual or the documentation you are doing as a BA point of view, right? So these are the skill set which you are highlighting from BA point of view. Okay. So as a fresher, they are not expecting you to be completely aware of, let's say, the functional architecture of the application or design of the cloud application. They are not expecting from you because you are just claiming of the as a kind of, the fresh graduate. Okay. So these type of things. The another thing, you start working as a freelancer, start, start completing some project. Let's say these type of the training, if you are getting and then completing the project, or maybe work with the people who are already there into industry, maybe not for the money, but maybe for the experience and all those. So what I'm trying to say in nutshell, build your profile. If you have a good profile, then only somebody will hire you. Then only somebody will trust you. Otherwise, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question, Deepak Panchal. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. No issue.
Hi, Sandeep. How are you?
Hi, Deepak. Okay, it's my favorite. Same Deepak then. Okay. Okay.
I hope I hope you're doing good.
Yeah, I'm doing good. How is it happening? So Deepak was one of my candidates. What is happening, Deepak? We haven't connected since last so many days, I think.
Sandeep, I think you are getting the wrong info. Actually, I'm also I will be also a new joiner for your batch,
Mm.
and though I have attended your previous session,
Mm.
right? But that was quick as my kid was got sick.
Yeah.
So um, I have 2 to 3 questions for you, Sandeep.
Yeah.
The first one will be, if one person is going to a business analyst,
Yeah.
is that really necessary for him or her to get the deep knowledge of data analytics?
Okay.
This is the first one.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's have one by one. Okay. So for
Okay. All right. All right.
yeah. So what is there? There's a lot of the confusion because data analyst and the business analyst, these are the two separate fields. Okay. When we talk about the business
Okay.
analyst, here we are talking about the software business analyst. Okay. That means
Yeah.
you will be acting as a, we can say, intermediary, or let's say between the business and the IT team. Okay. Now you will be getting specifically, let's say, the software requirement which the software engineers they have to develop. So let's say you are trying to build a online, the portal, let's say food delivery kind of, the system. So you have to understand from business point of view, what are the different features they are trying to implement, and then hand over those feature. Handover means you have to write them, you have to discuss them. A lot of, the things goes behind the scene. And then you hand over to the software team and they will start implementing those features. So that is the profile. That is the part I think we have discussed also, but that is the profile we are targeting here. In Australia, they call that as a ICT business analyst. Okay. So again, name or like that. Now the data analyst, we can say it is good to have the data analyst skill, because let's say the same example, the food delivery app, you are doing some market research and then you are trying to identify the feature. So you have to, the pull some data, do the, let's say, primary or secondary, the research, and then identify, okay, how to analyze what feature we should go, what feature is not important, a lot of things. So data analysis skill today kind of, the mandatory, you should have that. Okay. Now, the another thing, the data analyst role is the business analyst, the data analyst or the decision scientist or the data engineer or intelligence, and this type of the role where your entire focus will be onto the data. That means you have to extract the data, you have to analyze that, you have to visualize them, and mainly your focus will be onto, let's say, the tools, the technology, or the system, rather than the stakeholders or the client or the team interaction. Those will be the limited. So your main focus will be, let's say, getting the data, and then maybe you are using the Python or the SQL and analyzing, and then the Power BI, Tableau, and all those you are using for visualization, and maybe SAS and all those you are using. So those tools and skill set is specifically not required for a BA. I repeat it n number of the time. It's a proper confusion there. Most of the time you will see onto the requirement phase, and the all the credit goes to this recruiter. They put everything, they mix, okay, we are hiring just a kind of maybe lower level employee, but we are expecting a PhD out of that. It's the kind of thing they are giving. So they are saying, okay, we need Python, we need Tableau, we need Power BI, we need a stakeholder, we need Scrum for the business analyst, and it is a fresher experience. So that's what they are putting. So to cut it short, business analyst is a completely different role. You don't need these, but you should have some basic level. Let's say you don't know Excel, then I would say try to learn the Excel. Is the basic mandate even for BA also. Like somewhere you will find this type of things. But to learn about Python, to learn about SQL, anyway we cover. So SQL I will teach you guys, but you don't have to go with the Python or Tableau or the Power BI. These are the data visualization tool. If you can, that's fine, but it's not a mandatory.
All right. All right. So one more. Thank you so much for answering this. One more question related to this. Let's say if I crack the interview for business analyst, right?
Yeah.
And I'm on the floor working with the client.
Yeah.
And my my manager said that they will be giving you some data, right?
Yeah.
And you have to analyze the flow of the data.
Yeah.
How that data is actually working and how all the features are correlated to each other, right? And I'm on the floor. I don't have that particular skill, right? I only have BA skills, right?
Yeah.
So at that point of time, I will feel stuck that I don't know what to do with this data, right?
Yeah.
So
this
so my main question is, what if I learned BA skills and alongside I learn about data analytics basic skills?
Yeah,
So
it is good.
will this combination will gonna help me more or only the BA skills?
Yeah, so it is good combination. Again, I think I covered also. It is a good combination. So for an example, having additional skill set, always good. But the question comes, till what extent? Till what extent you have to learn? Otherwise, your entire life you will be keep learning. Okay. People say, okay, in IT, you have to keep learning. That's true. But till what extent? Okay. Do you want to become a pro or having some basic understanding? Okay. I know kind of, let's say, Power BI or Tableau. I know these are the basic stuff. If tomorrow any task is given to me, I'll handle it. Or I will take some time. I'll speak with people and then I will go through it. So whenever you have time, they start exploring those things. There's no issue because learn. It should be fun, right? Learning and all those.
Yeah.
But it's like now when the task is giving the immediately, there will be technical team anyway. So for example, let's say they are saying related to the data, the manager is saying, okay, Deepak, can you extract some of the data from the database and compare how it is happening onto the UI and all those. So you SQL you already know because I'm going to cover. And then if you don't know, then there's a developer. So ask them, they will run a simple query for you. They will execute, extract and give it to the file. Right, and you analyze. These are the different attributes and field. So I think you got my answer. So that's how it can work.
Yeah, yes, sir, I got it. Thank you so much for answering it. So so second question, from last 8 years I'm working into core IT projects, right? I mean, I'm a core technical person, right? I don't know about how to make PPTs, how to work on Excel, and how to make all the documentation and all. So my question is, how easy it will be for me as a having 8 year experience in core IT, and I'm transitioning into a BA. So which company or which consultation firm I need to focus on? And will this previous experience will gonna help me in this BA if I transition into the same company? On which technologies I have experience on?
So again, 2-3 things here. For example, first you mentioned like you have the technical, the expertise and all those. It is good because after all, as a business analyst, you are, the developing the software application. So if you already know like how the SDLC work, how the codes, the API, the services, third-party integration, the cloud and all those things integration work, then it is good for you to understand the information from the customer or the client and convey with the technical team. Because at the end of day, just imagine like today you are just delivering the task which they are asking you as a software engineer or architect, whatever the technical position you are playing. But tomorrow, the same thing you have to tell somebody else to do for you. That is the transition you are doing. So tomorrow you don't have to code, but you have to ask them, can you implement this feature? Because this is the requirement we are giving. And it is pretty much easier for you compared to the other candidate if they don't have. People are learning that, but they required. Then you can say, okay, you can cross question the developer. Developer can't play around with you because you already have
exactly,
right? So it is a good add-on. Now, how easy it is to convey, like, let's say you understand the process. I'll say because you already working 7-8 years of experience, so no issue with the, let's say, expertise or learning and the mental and all those. You can say, okay, you learn, okay, this is the way we create this document. This is the way the approval process work. These are the things we do into UAT from the BA point of view. So then how difficult it is just to implement them, right? Not difficult. And then another thing you target, let's say again, people target few people, they'll say, okay, I want to only go to the product company because a lot of, the stabilization and the single, the product ownership and like that. Some people, they'll say, okay, I want to go with the consultancy and I want to try with, let's say, on-site and that kind of travel and all those. So it is individual choice. We can discuss more about that, how that works. And then, but initially you should be open. once you are targeting, do the transition. Just try to get into the field, validate your experience from the BA point of view. Once you are there, again you switch, like once you have certain year of experience.
Yeah.
Right. And helping
okay, thank you so much.
For example, the experience you have definitely is going to help you because you have the technical experience. And now along with that, BA definitely add an advantage.
Okay. And one more question. So that we heard this word a lot of time when we talk about BA, domain specific. So what will be my domain if I opt BA?
Yeah. So again, two things here. So for example, so what domain you are working now? Is it a single organization or you have changed across the the industry?
I'm working in a product-based company, and that's an artificial intelligence company who make product for customers, right?
What type of
AI products for the customer.
Yeah. So for customer,
and
they can do a lot of things, but
I was saying I'm handling their infrastructure part.
Okay.
Their cloud services, their on-premises services, and their SaaS applications.
Okay. So for an example, like the domain, the things, right? And I'd say again, the very good question, so many, the candidate they have. What I suggest to the candidate when you are doing, let's say, the transition, if not a particular, the domain you have been working during your entire experience, then you should be open to any domain because you are doing the career transition. Okay. Some people, they'll say, no, I want to stick to a one particular domain. So let's say my expertise into the finance domain because I done the MBA and I was working there. So I know a lot of things about that. And finance is a good domain. So now you can say, okay, I want to target to the finance domain, but I have no experience into that. So I would say just complete few of the project which you are going to do, and then you target that. Now, two things here. When the people, or it's for the everyone, you are doing the career transition, the domain really doesn't matter for you because you should be open. You should first do the transition and you should start anywhere if you get an opportunity.
I got it.
That is only for a limited time, because after that, if you have the just the basic skill set, you are not expert into a particular domain or like that, then the salary or the pay increase will not be much because somebody else also can do the same task which you are doing. So why they will pay you the higher salary? They can hire somebody else also, right? So then at that moment, you should start thinking, now I already spent 3, 4, 5 years. Now, should I target, let's say, investment banking? Should I target capital market? Should I target KYC, AML, or the payment? Which particular domain into the financial services? Somebody say, I'm interested into the insurance domain. So the people or the client will hire you only for the insurance application. Okay. I had the candidate. He was, selling the insurance, 8 to 10 years of experience. And he was saying, okay, can I, do the transition? It's, the very difficult into that part because, and I'll say, why not utilize that insurance experience and target the insurance kind of, the IT project, which these organizations, they are doing. And that's how they hired him. So it all comes like, how you are going to present yourself, how you are going to utilize the skill set which you have. I think it's enough. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sandeep. It was a beautiful, elaboration. One last question I have, just one last question.
Yeah.
Sorry. So see, after my specific reason to opt this BA profile is money, right? I just want to get to one of the higher position in the management after cracking this BA profile, right? Working on 2 to 3 years on BA profile, then I will obtain management profile, right? So my question is, how much package one can get if he or she able to crack the interview after this much of experience? Second question, after working as a BA, senior BA, 2 to 3 years, then what position one can get in the future?
Yeah, again, it's a good question. So for example, how that works, the package, it depends on to the number of the year of experience and your performance during the interview. Because they teach you a lot of things, but if you are not able to perform, then they will reduce. You will get the job, but they will reduce the package. So a lot of, the time, that's how, I work with the candidate, help them to, do the negotiation of the salary, help them with the counter offer and all those kind of things. Because first, we'll say, okay, you target the 10 lakh. Once you start getting the 10 lakh of the offer, you get that offer. Once you have the buffer time, now you increase your, the price like 15 lakh or like that. So I'm talking into the Indian rupees, like that. But the idea is here, we do that. Now the offer depend on to the number of year of experience. Let's say in India, if you talk, if you have, let's say, if you are just starting the fresher, people just getting maybe, let's say 6-7 lakh or 8 lakh, around 6-7 lakh people get. But if you have, let's say 2-3 year of experience, people, they are getting around 10, so 10-12 or like that. And then if you have, let's say, certain 5-year, 4-year, this type of, the like, the middle, or even, the just, the trying to reach to the middle part, then the people, they are getting 13, 14, 15 or like that. Recently, one candidate, let's say he was there, and for example, he is just working and he is just getting, the 8 lakh, and from that he's able to do the 21 lakh. So that also, sometime, these type of the cases happen. Another candidate, he was again working into the sales and all those, and these are the real people. If you want to talk to them, they are in India, you talk. And then he was just again 8-9 lakh, and he was getting 17-18 lakh package. So what is happening here, you see the kind of, we can say, the link between the number of year of experience and all those. So anything below 4 to 5 year of experience you have, you should, the aim around 10 lakh. Okay. Some exceptional things are there, but that is the thing. If you have, let's say, for example, 8-10 year of that type of experience, around 15 people are getting. So people are getting 17, 18, 21 also. One candidate recently, because he was having good experience into that particular, the domain, and she got, 36 lakh package also. But she have, let's say, Salesforce, the background. She is my recent candidate. She's attending the classes now. And now that's the idea. So it all depends what expertise you have, how you perform during the interview, and then how many years of experience you have. So a lot of, the variables go, and then market, of course. So people, they were getting, the good package, let's say maybe 1 year back, maybe there's just some, the slight reduction into that part now. But it's not, the end of the story, but these are the variables, they play a role, right? Then the question comes, what you can do? You can do only things which are in your hand. Market is not in your hand, right?
Exactly.
The preparation is in your hand. Number of year of experience, that is not in your hand. That is already done, right? So you can do preparation, you can do well into preparation, you can do well during the interview and the negotiation. So these are the things you should focus, and then package.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Next question, please.
Sir, I just wanted to know that have you trained any students from USA? Also, my next question is, what technical skills we gonna gain after learning from you?
Okay, so technical skills, all these, the skill, I'm going to show like what are things we are going to cover, and the tools also, 8 to 10 different tool which we are going to cover. So that is the one. The training, the USA candidate, yes, a lot of them, and I think yes, Vikrant is there. So I work with one of the, the consultancy in the US. I trained their candidate, and Vikrant was one of the candidate. Vikrant, do you want to speak something? So he's the right person here. So basically, I work with the consultancy and help the people with the training, the onboarding, the let's say their resume, their mock interview, and like that. Okay, I don't do any proxy, no shortcut here, but rest of the things I do. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Any other question, guys? No, I'll go through now the content. Yeah, Mahek, do you have any other question?
I want to ask what consultancies you work with?
That I don't have to tell, actually. Okay.
Then is that recruitment consultancy that plays candidates, or?
Yeah, that's the recruitment consulting.
So is there a guarantee of offer after your training?
No, I'm not claiming anything like that. So that means I'm working with them. I train their candidate, okay, as a trainer. But if you think like, okay, after the training, I'm going to give you some offer, or I have some time and all those things, please don't have those, the assumption. The thing is there, this is the pure practical training, which help with, let's say, the project, resume, and mock interview and all those. We are going to go through the open market. There's no referral. I'm not claiming anything like, I'll refer you and then you'll get a job, or you'll pay to me or to pay somebody and they'll get, there's nothing like that. Okay. So is there on fair term? There's no proxy, no fake experience, no fake document. And if you think somebody will attending the interview, somebody else will do the background, or let's say the documents and all the nothing sort of the things is there. Okay, because this is not a one day thing. I want to the do and the long term. I want to help the candidate. So I work into those the terms and condition. So there's no shortcut, nothing. If you are really committed, if you are want to work onto this role, if you really need to the learn and understand the end-to-end thing, then this is the right training. But if someone is expecting any kind of the shortcut and it kind of the quick win, it's not going to work out. Okay.
What are the topics can be taught in the classes?
Yeah, so then let me share my screen now. So for example, first the lot of things is there, so straight away I'm going to cover the topic. So these are the the few of the things. Let's say we cover, let's say, on-call support, the counseling, the training, the classes, note, doubt clearing session, domain project, assignment, resume, interview. I'm going through quickly, okay? So you can the resume and then onboarding and all those things. Okay, that's the part. Now these are the the topic one. So for example, related to the soft skill, the people who are not good into the talking and all those. So I keep updating the syllabus and the structure and the program of it, because from the feedback and from the interaction with the HR and all those. So this is in the recent one. So let's say the soft skill related to that, you want to improve something, and how you can improve that, give the feedback and all those stakeholder, the different techniques, all those things. So for example, how that will work, let me explain. So for example, let's say we discuss one of the illustration technique today, and then you go through that, you already the given the class note, you improve you record that and you discuss that, and maybe in the group assignment, and maybe the individual, send it to me, I'll review it, how you guys are discussing, how you are participating, and then whether you have to improve the structure, whether you have to improve let's say the analysis part of it, how you're going to improve. Because if somebody is giving the feedback on you on those parameters, then you are going to improve on day-to-day basis. Okay, then we are going to do different the case study to understand, then introduction part of it, okay, like overview, the roles, responsibility and all those, then related to the documentation, use case, BRD, FRD, charter, stakeholders and all those part. Then related to the software development, let's say the testing, database, security, UX part and all those things. And for example, these are the any project and what is happening, related to some basic idea you should have. I'm not saying you should do the cloud certification here, no, it's not required, but you should have basic understanding. Then for the methodology, let's say how and the what to happen. So for example, Agile and Scrum, 3-4 class we just focus on to this only. So end-to-end knowledge about how the Agile and all those different ceremonies, the graphs and user stories and all those things, the works. And then software development, related to the workshop, so related to the market research, different the techniques and listings technique, how to the give the presentation, modeling and all those part. So this is the properly the structured things. And then the tools, somebody was asking about the technology and all those part. So these are the things we are going to the cover. So these are the things you should know. And then anything the concept. So I keep referring this guide and whatever for example related to the requirement in engineering or change management or the risk management they have, and the respective the tools that, and the live project the 4 to 5. So these are the basic thing. And quickly I run through, and I have one more the slide to show to you guys. So for example, yeah, so these are the few of the slide I prepared. Quickly I'll go through again in 5 minutes. So these are the few of the job. So just the go through the Google, the BA and how many the jobs and all those. So this is the Indian scenario. This is, let's say, into the US, okay, with the LinkedIn and the all those things. And so many time I know like there are kind of the duplicate, or maybe the profile are there but job is not there, or other side you have a lot of job but those are not listed. So the both the scenario they work. So that's way that we can check the number of the openings and all those. And for example, this part don't have to go through. So this is the slide definitely I want to highlight. Okay, no shortcut, no collection, no tie-ups, no quick solution, and no compromise in training and assignment. If you are not going to work, if you are not going to submit the assignment, it's not going to work out for you. So you have to keep working along with me, okay, throughout the process, then only it's going to help you. If you say, okay, it's a ready-made, it's a spoon feeding, it's not going to work out. Okay. These are the basic questions we had, few of them today, and then few of the candidate, the LinkedIn. These are the things I want to highlight. So you should focus on to the interview, resume, profile, and the BA skill set. If 4 of them you are able to improve in your case, then definitely you are going to get a job. Let's say the interview part, you are getting the call, it's the fine, but you are not able to, you know, clear the interview, then issue is with the interview. You are not getting shortlisted, issue is with the resume. Okay, your profile, how you are going to do the transition from sales, marketing, operation, or as a fresher, and the BA skill set. What are the tools, technology, process you should understand? Combine all 4 of them, it's going to work out for you. Okay. Then these are the things, because I keep interacting individually whenever, you know, that we have the time and availability, and then with the mock interview, resume, profile analysis, understand from point of view, like where are you getting the issue and all those points. This is the point. Weekly 2-hour session we'll have Saturday, Sunday, because earlier I used to have the Friday and the weekdays. Now I'm involved into some other tasks. So this is the, you know, the time. So 2 hour we are planning. Sometime it go beyond that, 2.5 an hour, 3 hours, if you know, the depending on to the discussion and all those. But this is the ideal time. Okay, so Saturday, Sunday, 9:30 p.m. AWST is the Perth, Australia time. You can check according to your schedule. 10 to 15 candidates I take per that. If it is more than that, then I'll create the separate session. Okay. Now, for example, discussion, we understand the topic. First, I ask the question to the candidate. Okay, and then, you know, give 2 3 example of that. Have the discussion, then share the reference reading or the material or the notes, and then, you know, try to, you know, discuss with the examples and all those things like that. Then we have the weekly assignment, and then people, let's say for example, today we have the class, then, you know, the candidate, they were given the assignment last week. So I'm expecting them to, you know, today they will give the presentation about the assignment. I'll give the feedback and we'll cover the topic, and then we'll move to the next topic like that. Okay. And then we have the interaction whenever, for example, let's say if there are 10 candidates, so I can say, okay, in the Monday, 2 of them, they are available. Then, you know, let's invite them and have a separate discussion about the individual, you know, the discussion, maybe the mock interview I take, maybe the resume thing, maybe their profile and those part. So parallel Sunday, Saturday, you are having the training, and in between, let's say the Monday to Friday, take the time and then, you know, have the discussion or the interaction with the individual candidate. Then the tools and all those. So for example, do the installation, configuration, walk through the tool, first understand the basic or the foundation, then have the project, run on through the tool, and then, you know, explain them how it is going to, you know, the workout, provide the material and all those. We have the weekly assignment. People do the individual assignment. Otherwise, maximum, you know, the group of the, you know, the 2, 3, 4, it depends how much, you know, the workload you want to allocate. Somebody will say, I'm too busy, I can't take all of them. Just combine 2 people or 3 people and then do. Or somebody can say, okay, I'm alone, can manage. Let's have it alone like that. So resume thing, I'll create. You don't have to create anything resume, 2, 3 different resume, or the cover letter. If it works in Australia and other countries, I provide that. So you don't have to, you know, the work on that. Whatever the resume you or the profile you have, just send it to me. I'll start working on that. Before that, I'll have a call with you, try to understand what are the roles and, for example, you know, the companies and the profile and the gaps you are having, and then what are the project or the domain you are expecting, then create the resume according to that. Then the LinkedIn profile, today recruiter, they see that. So I'll improve your LinkedIn profile, create that, and those part, you know, I'll do it for you. Okay, the project I already explained, 4 or 5 different projects we do, and then you having the class on the parallel, you are working on that and like that. Mock interview, the feedback, ongoing support. Let's say, for example, you are attending the training, it's already kind of 2 to 3 weeks. So after 3 weeks, you know, 2 weeks, I start preparing resume, or 3 to 4 weeks. After 3 weeks, we should, you know, be live into the market. And then you are getting the call, you discuss with me, this is the job description I'm getting. And then can you, you know, tell me like what is going to be there, and, you know, how can I approach, and this is the interview I had yesterday, and these were the feedback and like that. So it's the kind of private tuition. You are there, you are attending the call, and somebody is helping you to throughout the process. You done the mistake today, but how can you improve tomorrow? That is important, rather than getting you rejected today and let's try to get one more interview tomorrow. It's not going to help you. If you don't know the mistake which you have done today, again, you are going to do the same mistake tomorrow, right? So these are the, you know, the things they help. And then accepting, let's say, the offer, negotiating and all those, you know, the part I'll help. Now, if you are once my student, you are always a student. So for example, if you are joining this session and then I keep running, let's say 1 month, 2 months, and May started, and then again, you know, I starting this now. So I don't have the multiple batch. I just run 1 batch for the BA, and then it keep recurring. So it doesn't matter when and which particular time you are joining. So let's say you are starting now, and next week I'm going to start from the, you know, the topic 1 again. Okay. Now already, let's say 4 topics are covered, and now candidates are joining with the 5th topic. So again, we'll come back. We'll cover again, you know, the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you start with 5, then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You cover 10. Again, come back to 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, right? So that's how, you know, keep, you know, the doing on. And these are the, you know, the few things like, for example, LinkedIn or the study material and all those things. So nutshell here, what I'm trying to say, once you are a candidate, you want to come back to join any of the session, you are always welcome. You don't have to pay it again. Okay, this kind of things. Okay, now the payment part can be made into 2 installment. First thing before you start the course, second after 2 weeks. You need invoice on and all those things, I can do that, and open for collaboration and all those things. Sometimes people they refer for the corporates and the candidates and the friends and all those, we do that. That's the thing. This is the training fee, just to have a look into the market, what the simply and all those. Most of the time they provide the recorded session, and again they combine the business analyst or data analyst. If somebody have done this, then they know. And again, nobody kind of provide the kind of the one-to-one guidance. Today you are receiving the interview and you need somebody to guide you on that, you will not see anywhere. Okay, so these are the few of the fees which is there. Now this is the fee you have to pay. Okay, so for example, people they only need the training, nothing else. So complete business analyst training. Okay, and then this is the price. So it is kind of the one installment, single 12K or 147. If it is training, resume, mock interview, live project, this is the price, 357 USD you have to pay. If you need the one-to-one career mentorship, because sometimes the people say, okay, like the training is not enough, one-to-one or regular basis I have to connect. So for the moment there are 3 candidates, and US, Canada, and Melbourne. So 3 the candidates are there, and now they need, okay, we need like 1 month or 2 month guidance to, so you can the walk through the entire process when I'm doing the career transition, and you can help us during the the day-to-day when I'm getting the call, or when I'm, let's say, having the interview, or when I'm, let's say, applying for the position, or any sort of the things. So one-to-one career mentorship, let's say if you are aiming, let's say 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months, whatever the time is taking for you to land a job, I'll be working just as a personal assistant for you, anything related to the career, anything related to the job which you need help. Okay, then the BA job support. So this is the kind of the on role, the people who are already working as a BA, and if you need help to do your deliverable, your day-to-day deliverables, then the career mentorship and the job support, I should have the individual one-to-one session with you, and that's why the fees is like that. So I should have the individual, let's say 1 hour is the standard time whenever we have the kind of the discussion or the deliverables, but it can the extend if there is something important which you have to deliver tomorrow. So that's how this scenario the entire thing work. Now again, open to question. Do you have any question?
Sir, what about the duration of this course?
So the duration, if you, for example, just focus on to the training. So for example, let's say the option 1, 8 to 10 week we take. Okay, it's not a shortcuts, not a kind of the quick win, it's the detailed one. So let's say the people, even if you are coming with a 0 experience, we are going to cover in detail. Okay, so 8 to 10 week is the standard time. So for example, let's say if you see my other post and all those, the 19th of the May, I started that batch, and this week will be the the last session for that. Okay, so that you'll see almost the 2 months like that. Okay, any other question?
So the complete BA training would be 24K, and we have to give the fee in 2 installment, right?
So complete BA training is the 12K, and it's the single installment. That means I'll not be preparing your resume, I'll not take your mock interview, I'll not cover the project for you, just the training part.
Got it, sir.
Understand the fundamental.
Got it, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. And some people, they'll say, so most of the time they prefer this, because they'll say, okay, we want to do the training, the resume, mock interview and all this, not a big deal. Now you just see, like, how many people, I should not say the detail, but for example, just quickly see how many people with this. For example, this is the one, the Melbourne I was talking, this guy, and say the US and all those things, for example. So many people. So it's not like, you are joining the first time, the C. Okay. So a lot of, the people. For example,
that's a huge list.
yeah. So this is the recent guy. So for example, this is the recent, the offer letter I was saying. For example, when 7th 9. This is the recent, the offer letter, and around 21 he got, and this is the Indian salary. So these are the recent one I'm showing to you. I can show a lot of things, but not required. Okay. Any question you have now?
Hey Sandeep, one query I'm having.
Yeah.
Like for someone who's based out in India and working more of a BFSI domain, for example.
Yeah.
Now he's looking for some abroad jobs. So I believe there was one option like you can refer to some consultancy, and there was some cost involved in that. And then
No.
based on that, if I get a job, then there was some commission basis thing.
No.
Is the understanding correct? I don't know.
No, there's no such
Mhm.
option. So if I show you again, there's no such option. That's why again I was showing there's no involvement of the third party and all those things. So please don't have that kind of the misrepresentation. I'll show you this again. Okay.
Okay. Now let me put it straightforward.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking for what's this opportunity, like do you support in that, or I don't know? Is it
So-
my luck that I can call it
Yeah,
myself?
I can guide you. So for example, let's say based on let's say my experience while I'm the sitting into Perth now, and the interaction with the let's say the candidate across the globe, I can guide you how these profile, how the consultancy, how the job market and all those work. But if you ask me specific question like, do I have the tie-up? Yes, I have. But are you going to give that to me for the job support or for the visa or for the let's say the job or landing a job or migration? No. Okay, because that is something which you have to explore. There are the dedicated people to perform that task. But if you want to understand how from India to let's say the Australia, I can the move as a business analyst, what are the steps there are there, what is there the demand into the market, how can I the approach there, I can guide you with the process with my experience and all those things, and with the experience with the the interacting with the other candidate. But if you are asked specific thing, is there any tie-up, is there any job and all those things, sorry, not like that. Okay, because I'm not working as a agent or the migration agent or the immigration lawyer and all those things, right?
No, that thing I totally understand, Sandeep. So for some niche skill, for example, like regulatory reporting and BFSI, that is some kind of niche skill, right? Where you will find less people.
Yeah.
So I'm more focused on that. I'm not talking about generic domain-specific position abroad. I believe I'm making sense.
Yeah, so I can guide you with the process, Deepak, but again this is something the individual you have to explore. Now if the another way I'll put it, if you want to learn a specific domain or the expertise into that, then this is the generic, because here we can focus on to the domain specific project. So for example, if you are interested in the finance or the reporting and all those, let's have those project only. Okay, and I can guide you on those aspects.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question?
Okay. One question. One more question before I let you go, or maybe.
Yeah.
Can you show the training part? I believe this 12K, the training that you are talking about, that doesn't contain any live project. Is the understanding correct?
Yeah. So I'll show you again for the understanding of it, everyone, because it makes sense, because it is a lot of effort. Since last 1 hour we are talking, so definitely you should by now you should have that trust. Okay, like this person can handle. Okay. Now, for example, this is the complete BA training. That means we will cover the conceptual part. You will understand the fundamental. You will understand, let's say, the assignment, what we are doing on regular basis. Some people, they'll say, okay, I just want to try first, and if well and good, then I want to move to the let's say the next one. Those type of the candidate also like that. And this is nothing, this is the bare minimum. If you just cover into let's say the dollar which that I'm spending the time here, this is nothing like peanut which I'm asking now. Now in the training, the resume,
How many hours of training that is? How many hours of training?
Yeah,
So
so
complete
for
BA
example, 8 to 10 week or 12 week, like that it will go. Sunday, Saturday, 2 hours every weekend we are going to connect. Okay, so over a period of 2 months or 2.5, and then every Saturday, Sunday, 2 hours, Saturday, 2 hour, Sunday, like that.
Understand. Thank you, sir.
Okay, same Kitab, please ask the question.
Sir, I wanted to ask that, can you share your course module with us?
I already shown, right?
But sir, I'm not pretty sure about it, because you mentioned Scrum Masters many times, but there are other aspects of business analyst, right? It's like, are you gonna teach us like SQL, table view, and things like that? Because I was more interested in technical stuff like BI tools and business processing models and stuff
We
like
will
this.
cover the SQL and all those parts. So this is the part I shown. So for example, SQL and database and all those, I'm going to.
Okay, I must have missed it. Yeah.
So we are going to cover all those parts. This is the where I shown the course. Okay.
Okay.
Design.
Also, can you share this slide to me somewhere,
Not have to
wherever
be
you
there
like?
because you don't need that. Okay, you can see like these things are there. You don't need the detail. Okay.
And sir, what will be the depth of this technical stuff that we gonna learn?
Depth of it, let's say we start with the foundation because it's a group training. So when you join the group training or the individual, the one-to-one thing, which is a separate thing. So if you join the group training, then I have to take care of everyone. That means I should start with the foundation or with the zero, take it to the advanced level, which can get you a job and you are able to perform into that job. That is the level we are going to cover. Beyond that, you don't need, right? So for example, if I'm talking about the SQL, you should have the understanding of the SQL up to a level which can help you to get a job. If you know the correct the any interview which they are asking for the BA, and then once you start working that, you should be in a position to execute the SQL query from the BA point of view. So that much understanding we should cover, right?
Right, sir, definitely. Thank you so much.
Okay. If any other question, I have to leave now. Please the message me. I already sure if you are really interested, please ping me. You can start next week, next Saturday. If you are not interested, then that's fine. I hope you got some valuable information in the session. And if you have any other queries, please ping me. Please free to reach out. And then already we created the WhatsApp group, so people they can the asking the question and all those. The most thing here, I don't have the time most of the time, so I try to reduce the individual interaction. That's why unless the people they are individual, the mentorship and all those, because time is the issue here. But I keep organizing this type of the session, so please be into there, and then I keep everything into the group. So whatever the interaction or the queries you have, please feel free to reach out. Okay. That's fine. Any other final question?
Thank you, sir. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Sandeep. It was a very nice session. Beautifully elaborated. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So now I'm looking forward to seeing every one of you. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you,
All
Sandeep.
right.
Then it will work. Otherwise, no. Okay.
Okay. All
Thanks
right.
for the help, sir.
Yeah. So see, for example, that's how it works. So let's say it will either you have to invest your time or the money. This is the last, the thing I'll tell you guys. So for an example, whatever things I'm showing to you, now you get in some idea, like these are the things I have to do. You spend 6 months or 1 year, you can learn all the thing and you can do it. Trial and error. Okay. It will take a lot of time, lot of effort. But if somebody is already doing this part, then why not just pay them some, the money, and then they can help you to walk through the process. So it can reduce the time, it can reduce the effort. Still, you have to do the job, but in a proper structured way. You don't have to do the trial and error because life is too short for the trial and error. That's why the people they see first, we can say the successful and all those people, depend on to the definition of the success. But it all depends the people who are expert, or even if they are not expert, they take the help from other. They don't do a lot of things by them on, because time is precious here. So they respect their time, they respect others' time. So they'll say, for example, suddenly I start doing all the CA activities, which I'm not an expert, I'm a fool. So I should hire a CA, pay them some hourly rate, and then use their expertise which they have. If let's say I'm sick, I don't do all the treatment, I don't do all the Google and then find the medicine which is suitable for me. I go to a clinic, I visit a doctor and use their expertise, and then help that they may to quickly recover without any kind of the side effect, right? So that's how people take this thing. But some people they'll say, okay, why should I invest? I can do it myself. That is your decision. So either you invest the time, it will take a lot of time, or either you invest some money, try to learn from the expert who is already doing this thing, and then utilize it for your betterment, right?
Sir, will we get the recording of this session?
Not all the recording, because For example, if there are any kind of, the circumstances you are not able to attend, I share few of the recording, but in the past I had very bad experience. People, they taken my recording and they started selling in the market. So I don't give all the recording. Okay. But if
No, this session's recording, this
I'll
recording.
share into this session I can share. I'll upload into my LinkedIn. You can check over there. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Share the link.
what is your name on LinkedIn so that we can follow you over there?
I'll share into the WhatsApp, and even here also I can share.
Yeah, please. Just share your profile link over here so that we can quickly go and follow your profile. Because definitely your LinkedIn profile will definitely gonna give a better brief about your about you, right? So we will be able to understand more about you.
Yeah.
So we have
for there, and then please have a look.
Thank you.
And I would say if you have any queries, just let me know. Okay. Okay, then I have to leave now. Thank you, everyone, and see you next time. Bye. Take care.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.